Hello, welcome to my channel Vacabalo, where I share with you how I paint different paintings with watercolor. Today I'm going to share with you how I painted this corner of the Hoi An ancient town. If you have a chance to go to Vietnam, make sure you visit Hoi An. It's a beautiful place and it has a lot of lanterns. So first I will need to sketch the street, and I'm using one-point perspective technique. So one-point perspective is a drawing technique that uses a single vanishing point to create the illusion of space and depth in a flat image. So with this technique, you need to make sure that all of the lines which are parallel to the ground in space need to meet at one point at the horizon. If you are an architect, you probably know about this technique better than me. So yeah, please leave a comment if you're an architect and you know about one-point perspective drawing technique. It's pretty challenging for me to sketch this one, but I try my best. And for this painting, I'm gonna use loose painting technique, which means that I will not focus too much on describing every details, but it's more about painting and describing the shapes, the light and shadows, and also some just some impressions of the street. So for this street, I will have lanterns, which are very popular and a lot in ancient town in Hoi An, and also the roof of the houses are also very beautiful. Now I'm gonna add some lines and the lanterns that are hung over the street from this side to the other side of the street. And I try to sketch the lanterns in different sizes just to make it more dynamic. I also draw some lanterns in front of some houses. Before adding colors, I use a flat brush to wet the paper. So I want the base color or the base layer with the colors blended into each other. I'm mixing ultramarine blue with some water because I want the sky to be bright. It's supposed to be a bright sky on a sunny day. So the blue sky is not too thick, like I didn't add a lot of pigments of the blue. I'm mixing burnt sienna with gambit hue yellow to create the light color, the warm color for the ground. For most of my paintings, I usually use just the primary colors, which are yellow, red, and blue in the warm and the cool versions. And sometimes I use burnt sienna and maybe add some black And anyway, if you want to buy a set of primary colors, I already added the link in the video's description, so you can check it out. I just mixed the warm yellow and the warm red together to create like warm orange for the walls. And because the walls will, on the left hand side won't be under the sunlight, that's why the walls will look more vibrant than the one on the right side. So I call it warm red, and specifically I'm using cadmium red deep hue from Winsor & Newton, but you can also use another warm red. So just so you know that each color has the warm and the cool versions of it. If you don't know about this yet, I already wrote an article about the colors and color bias on my website vacabalo.com/blog that you can check it out. Or you can find the link in the video's description. I add some burnt sienna to the mixture to create a darker color and use it for the shadow. So the pillars will receive more sunlight and they will be lighter. And the part which is inside the shadow, deep inside the house, that won't be darker. I use ultramarine blue to create different colors for different houses, just to make it more dynamic. So I mix the warm yellow with warm blue to create olive green and use it for the trees further away. So this green color looks very natural and I like it a lot. If you mix the cool yellow with the cool blue, you will get a very awkward, very artificial green, which doesn't look natural at all. Now I mix the cool red, which is quinacridone rose, and burnt sienna to create a dark shade and use it for the roof on the right hand side because this side will receive less light, so it will be darker. The left hand side. Painting some plants in front of some houses. So again, on the right hand side, the trees or the plants will look darker, and on the left hand side, because the trees or the plants will receive more sunlight, so they will look more vibrant. That's why I added a little bit more yellow, using cool yellow as well. So for the cool yellow color, I'm using lemon yellow to create like very vibrant color. And for the plants, they will look brighter on the top of the plants, and at the bottom of the plants, it will be darker, right? Because the sunlight is from shining from the top to the bottom of the plants. I add some gray color using ultramarine blue and burnt sienna to create a shadow of the pavement or the sidewalk, and also the shadow for the plants underneath the pots. I mix quinacridone rose with burnt sienna to create the local color for the pot. So now the paper is already dry and I'm ready to create the very dark color using burnt sienna and Prussian blue to create black, and use that for the roof just to create the very high contrast. I need a darker shade for the shadows on the right hand side, so to make it more clear between the shadows inside the houses and the pillars. For the lanterns, I use very vibrant colors just to make them pop up. And for example, in this case, I use mainly yellow and added some red color to make a very vibrant yellow. And the shadow will be at the bottom of the lanterns. That's why I just didn't paint the top of the lanterns, because sometimes when objects are under the light, especially direct sunlight, very strong sunlight, it will look light, it will look white. That's why I didn't paint the top of the lanterns. And try to make the lanterns in different colors just to create more colorful painting and make the painting more attractive. I add some darker color to the middle of the lanterns where it is bigger in real life, just to create the form of the lanterns. So it is actually the terminators of a 3D shape. The terminators is the line between the light side and the dark side. So it should be the darkest part of the object. That's why I'm adding more, for example, more dark red to some orange or red lanterns at the middle to create the 3D form. I still want to increase the contrast of the painting. That's why I'm creating a very dark color using Prussian blue, burnt sienna, and quinacridone rose to create a very dark color and use that for the shadow. Now for the cast shadows of the buildings on the right-hand side on the street, I mix ultramarine blue with some quinacridone rose to create a purplish color, and use that to paint wet on dry to create the cast shadows of the buildings on the right-hand side on the street. I also use that color to paint on the pillars and some objects on the right hand side, just to make sure that every part in the shadows have the same tone. And I also paint the cast shadows of the lanterns that are hung in the sky, and so those lanterns will have the shadows on the street as well, which creates a very interesting painting. So I use the vibrant colors to paint the humans or the people on the street. For example, I added the orange color for the shirt, and just add some colors, and I don't try to describe every details of the people. Now I just add some more shadows where I want to, just to increase the contrast of the painting. So under direct sunlight, the contrast will be high, and in the shadow, the contrast will be lower. I add some orange, vibrant orange, to make one side of the pillars on the left-hand side buildings more vibrant. I add some space by adding some dark brown to the plants, so the plants will not be like a big thick area, but instead it will have some space that you can see through, and you can see into the shadows of the buildings. So when the painting is completely dry and I finish it, I just remove the masking tapes to reveal the sign of the painting. And this is the final one. What do you think about this painting? I hope you enjoy my tutorial. Please let me know in the comments below if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions for the next painting I should do, or anything that I can improve my channel. Thanks for watching.